So without any further ado, guys, you guys have a special treat tonight. You have a treat because we have two powerful persons in the house, of most especially if you are on the forensic call. This is the call with our CEO, our founder. This young man, he has had a background, not just in wrestling, combat sport one-on-one, but he also has been a top distributor in his time. And he has actually brought many, many businesses in terms of persons becoming millionaires themselves in the industry of direct sales. He has actually had 4 companies, multi-million-dollar companies in this company. But most of all, and this young man is a humble man. I remember when I met you, Ramin, a few years ago. What I loved about you is that although you have received so many accolades in your time, and you are known to be the forensic networker, you have brought this company to be the top in the direct sales industry, but you are so humble. And that's what I love about you. The big heart that you have, the spirit that you have, you know, when you have the accolades that you carry, the titles that you carry, you would think this man would be, you know, and I remember dancing with you. I remember walking with you. I remember being in the same room at breakfast with you. And for me, that was like, this was the real man, the man behind everything that we do. So Opulence Nation, if you're really looking for a founder, you're looking for the author, you're looking for a man who makes things happen in this company, you're looking for a visionary, if you're looking to be in the best network marketing company in the world, you have the best of the best of the best before you tonight to deliver firsthand information to you. And the thing is, no matter where he is in the world, he just landed in St. Martin and he's able to take time to be in the room, not missing this call. I knew you were traveling, so I was like, okay, will he be with us? Will he be with us? And bow, here you are. So it's a real pleasure to have you on. And accompanying us tonight also is someone who I'm really proud of this young lady. I've journeyed with her for quite a number of years. She actually is my enroller in this business. And when she showed me this business about a year ago, before I really came in, I told her that, hey, lady, you gotta go and pray about this, because I wasn't ready to say it. But guess what? When I was ready, I went looking for her. I called her up. She holds a PhD as a mom because she's passionate about her children. And what she really loved about this company, when she gave up her job to come in, she wanted to have this time freedom to spend with her parents, and most especially with her children, to be there to make sure that she can guide them along. And they are very, very powerful in their endeavors. So she's also a top leader in the company. She's a forensic networker too. Hello. She is running a small marathon team of forensic marathoners right now as we speak. She has been as far as Alberta and Kenya in helping train all the teams, because she has a really huge heart for persons in using her time, talent, and treasure. And I can go on and on about this lady who's very passionate about anything she does, but she is my friend and she is my business partner. So she's joining the call tonight with our CEO and founder, so Ramin Mascalo and Venetia Charles-Jones. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Arthur, and good evening to you. Ramin, you look like you've lived in the Caribbean all your life. Look at you.
Listen, I just got your message after I got on. I apologize. I've been on the phone with the IT guys. We're trying to get that exit out. So they're working late. They got a lot of questions, lots going on. So I was like 4 hours, didn't get off the phone. And then I never even checked. I sent you that message thinking, you know, and hey, but you know, we're gonna have fun. Hey, Arthur, where are you going? Get back here. Arthur, get back here. Yeah, no, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna have fun tonight. Okay, so why don't I let you, Verd, have your open air, and then we just have some fun.
All right, well, thank you so much for the opportunity again, always to serve Ramin, especially on this massive stage called Forensic Networker. One of my favorite aspects of this industry, this business, this company. And I remember 11 years ago, one of the first set of trainings that I found on YouTube was your forensic networker training that you did Niagara Falls. There were five pieces of video there, and since then I fell in love with forensic. I loved what it did. I loved the system, and most importantly, I love the fact that it caused me to be accountable to myself, not having blame anything or anyone. And I say to persons, every time I seriously take on forensic, I get results. So I know there's no other way around it. So I am very, very grateful, Ramin, that I got it not from another company or another CEO. I found it right here. I found it with you. I got the opportunity to travel to Canada to sit right under your nose, learning more about forensic. And the Tuesday night calls, I don't call it an ordinary forensic call. I call it my one-on-one with my multi-millionaire CEO, doing fireside chats and really giving me the kind of mindset that empowers me to stay forensic. So I love this hour, Ramin. I wasn't expecting to be with you. So that's an added plus. So I love the fact that I'm always grateful. So I got a bonus and gift to be here with you. So where do you want to go with this? I was going to talk about commitment levels and why I made it till 11 years and from a small island and what forensic did for me to be
Actually,
able to
we're going to talk about some of that too. That's why I want Arthur to stick around. Before we start, guys, you got to take a look. You got to take a look at this view.
What?
Oh, wow.
This is an infinity pool. There's an ocean right there. Infinity on this side and infinity on that side. Is that something?
Nice.
No, I know Verlin is on the call, and Anguilla is such a small island, but you got such crazy hotels there too. All right, so when I made you two fine folks, you guys were going through a lot, both of you. You know, I think people need to know about that because people always make excuses why they quit. They don't have time, they're demotivated, whatever, all this other thing, right? And Vern, you were going through hell, and I know Arthur, you were going through some stuff. And what kept you in the game?
You know, Vern said tonight about commitment, and that's really true. I think when I put my head to something or I put my time into something and I decide, I think deciding is a good word. When Vern showed me this business a year before, I didn't have the mindset for it. I hadn't decided on it. To be very honest, Ramin, I kept moving away from MLM companies. I didn't want to know anything about direct sales because growing, I think I was invited to 2 meetings of MLM companies. I saw the presentation and I wasn't impressed. And I was journeying very deeply and all I heard was just money, 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 money. There was no soul in the business. It wasn't about people. It wasn't about serving and loving people. It didn't give me a passion. And I walked away from 2 of those meetings and I decided I'm never going to get involved with MLM again. But along my journey, when I got broke in 2012, I really began to look at some motivational guys, and I joined a club called clubrhino.com, looking at motivational stuff. And I came across all of those guys. They were actually multi-millionaires, and they were talking about how they made their money. And all of them said they made it from network marketing. Now, remember, I was turned off by this. So I was always blocking my ears to anytime I heard network marketing. And then when I really caught up to it, I remember one particular guy, he said, when they asked him, at the end of the moderator always asks this final question. So what can I say to you guys? What can I say to you or that I haven't said, or what question should I ask that you really should be talking to your people about? What would you want to say to them right now? What's the final word you want to leave with them? And this guy said, what I can say to you, lovely people out there, is that if you see something, it says, if you see someone where you want to be and you do what they do, you will end up where they are. When I heard this, it really took me by surprise because I'm thinking, okay, what do these guys do? And then I heard another guy was being interviewed, and in the end, they asked him the same question. And he says, man, I don't know what to tell you good people out there, but I can say one thing. There is no other business but network marketing. Ramin, this thing, I was listening to these tapes all the time, and I heard it for the first time.
You surrounded yourself with positive stuff that was conducive to your success, because a lot of people listen to other people. We're going to talk a lot about that tonight. Now, Vern, when I met you, you were either pregnant with your 4th child or you were just had the 4th child.
GWT got me pregnant with my 4th child.
So, but then you having some personal issues. Like this thing came to you despite all these challenges in your life in a small island. You managed to gather it together, get forensic, and because you're going to rely on anybody. Even your own family wasn't supporting you. They always did, right? Because I heard the stories. I don't want to say too much other than you want to say, but you know, I know you were going through a lot. You had no support from family. You had no support from the spouse, and you know, you had the fourth child coming or was already there, just baby, and you managed to pull it together and say, hey, to be, it's up to me.
Well, for me, Ramin, I had a very good job prior to finding Opulence Global. I never heard of network marketing. Unlike Arthur, I didn't know anything about network marketing. It was a very new term. Even when I joined the company, I did not know about network marketing. But before that, I had a very good job with the telecoms company in St. Lucia, and I made a very good 5-figure monthly income. And then my position was made redundant. That's when we had recession in 2008. And I got other jobs. I started other small businesses, but none of them gave me what I was looking for. And when my friend first showed me about this business in 2010, I was so broke. Listen, I had no money and I was in debt. And I was afraid to answer my phone because of the number of persons that I know I had to pay back over the short space of time of losing my job and having to still do life. When I started working other jobs, I found that I was working harder, longer, for less, because you're starting over. And then I wanted freedom. I wanted to be my own person. So when I saw it a second time, only this time he was having me listen to testimonials of persons who were the top 10 income earners in the same company that I had said no to 1 year prior, which is GWT. And then I heard 2 young ladies, in particular, they caught me because they were from St. Martin. And both of them were making in excess of 10,000 US dollars a month. But what really kicked me was they saw it the same time I did in 2010. The only difference is they took action and I didn't. And so I saw how I missed out on a full year of a massive opportunity in being one of the pioneers to start off first in the Caribbean. And while the challenges I had were what motivated me, I didn't have money and I didn't want to go back to what I was doing before because what I was doing before clearly was not working for me. I wanted time because I had a very, very young family. My kids were like babies and I wanted to spend time to have to be present for my kids. I didn't like the fact that the daycare nanny was raising my kids and the system was raising my kids. So I wanted money and I wanted my own time freedom. So when I started this, one of the first persons I went to was my very good friend, Arthur, who I know has a huge network and a lot of people like him, a lot of people know him. And you know, the beggar told me no. He says, oh, but I have to pray about it. Dude, you have been praying. So I went along anyways, stressed with money, stressed with spouse. I didn't know how to get started. I went to my family. They told me no. I went to a friend. She told me yes. And then the rest became history. Along that way, though, I mean, my upline stopped and then I stopped. And what got me going back was when Arthur contacted me back and he says, Vern, you had something that you showed me. Can you please show me again?
Okay, you know what? I want people to know, because you guys have been here a long time. About 10 years now?
10 to 11.
What, 10 years? Yeah. In a small island, making money. People ask me a lot, and I actually wrote an article today. I'm going to share the topic with you tonight, and maybe I'll send it to Ted for him to share with the rest of the world. People, a lot of them ask, and I'm always questioning, why do people who have a lot of problems and they're given solutions to those problems, why do people quit? They rather quit and have the problem, and as opposed to working a little bit hard on the solution that they just got. So what does it take? Why do some people go through it? So I'm going kind of, I had a plane, 7-hour plane and stopover. So I'm just thinking about that. So I was on the plane, start to type on my phone. So I wrote an article, and the headline is this. I created a poster, and the headline is this. In MLM, volatility and FUD is the price of admission for success. Let me repeat that. In MLM, volatility and FUD, I'll tell you what FUD is in a minute, is the price of admission for success. Because people find ways, thousands of different ways to be demotivated. It's incredible. They wouldn't take 2 actions to be motivated, but they'll find 1,000 different ways to be demotivated. And a lot of time is because of lack of knowledge that they have. So let's talk about this a little bit. In life, you always hear people say, you know what? You have to pay the price to become successful, right? So you hear that in all kinds of business. MLM is no different. And what they're referring to is basically you have to make sacrifices and you have to work really hard, which is definitely true, right? You have to make sacrifices and work really hard. But why is it that some people are able to do it and most aren't able to do it? So that's the part I was working on today. Why is it that Vern and Arthur could do it and we have so many others cannot do it? Everybody gets the same training, same product, same comp plan, right? So the key, the secret to this is another secret that Forensics is going to put out tonight. The secret to this is what happens before work hard and pay the price. That enables you to be able to pay the price. So let's focus on step before work hard and pay the price and make sacrifices. What happens before that? So managing expectation is the step before that. Because people come in with the wrong expectation, and when they get the wrong expectation, they do the wrong action, take a wrong action, get the wrong results, all of a sudden it didn't work. And even if they do the things right, they don't have the right perspective that this is a real business, that it takes real blood and sweat and it takes time. So because of that misconception, 2 weeks later, they're not pursuing the dream anymore. So this step of managing expectation will have you, give you a clear vision to expect a path to MLM success to be rough and to be unpleasant. To be rough and to be unpleasant. I don't know another CEO who's built a big company, including myself, that didn't go through hell to make it happen. The path to success is not supposed to be a lot of fun. You can have fun in MLM, sure. You can have fun, make some money, sure. But if you make a lot of money, you have to go in muddy and bloody like the rest of us. That's the work hard part. Until you've made it, then you play hard and fun hard and all that stuff. So I want to talk about the managing expectation, and that's where the FUD part and volatility part comes in. Because a lot of people are under impression they're going to get into MLM. It's simple and easy. They're going to, boom, go to the moon with it. That's their expectation. And when that doesn't happen, then they quit. I guess it's not for me, or the company didn't work for me, or had a bad upline, all these excuses. At the end of the day, because everybody remembers that one story in front of the room, the guy came in for some reason in a year is making 10,000 a month. And that's their reality. That's their reality. That's all they remember. So I want to talk about a step before paying the price. So you can build a foundation to pay the price. Because otherwise, you're going to quit. You're not going to pay the price. The very first thing that you need to understand, MLM income, much like any other high-paying income, is volatile. It has volatility. What's volatility? It's not stable. It'll do this. That's volatility. Guess what? Volatility is vitality. That means it's alive. It's alive. It's moving. Jobs are dead, right? Your heartbeat, what does it do? Right? So there's no doubt that we all agree that MLM is one of the highest paying professions in the world. But the path to high income is very volatile and it's unstable. And it doesn't really matter what rank you're in the comp plan. If you're making $1,000 a month, you may go $1,000 and $200, and that's what it'll do. If you're making $10,000 a month, you go to $10,000, it goes on to $2,000. That's what it'll do. You're making $100,000 a month, you go to $100,000 and $20,000. That's what it'll do. That's what it will do. And that, to some people, that's a problem. If you don't know, to me, that's not a problem. To me, that's a business that's alive. And I'm going to talk to you guys about how you should be looking at this. Every business has a business cycle. Every business has a business cycle. And as you go through your normal business cycle in MLM, it's not hard for you to drop 50% from your highest check. And that's something you need to know upfront. It's called volatility. People think, well, that's not good. But no, it is good. Because the only reason why you could drop 50%, because before that, you gained 50+%. If you didn't have volatility, it wouldn't go up 50%. If it was dead, it will do this. If you don't have a chance to go up, you want a chance to go down. And last thing you want in life is something that's dead. You want volatility, because volatility is directly linked to you and your effort and your energy and your knowledge. You want something you have control over. You don't have that control in the job. So these peaks and valleys of income in MLM or in other things, I'll talk about that in a minute, it's called volatility. And every high-paying profession, every high-paying profession has volatility. In forensic, I talk about the higher the peak, the steeper the valleys. All right? It's the same with your income. So there are plenty of money that can be made in stock market, for example, right? And when the stock market is going well, people make millions. And then good stock market is followed by what? A correction, AKA crash, right? So it does this boom, 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 boom. So how you look at that, a cryptocurrency is the same thing, right? Cryptocurrency, it goes up and it crashes, goes up. So how you look at it, as long as you set higher lows and higher highs, you're in the right business. If you're with a good project that gives you higher lows and higher highs. One thing you don't want, if you're stuck in a low paying or low potential profession like a job, because your 2% raise is not going to match the monetary energy and velocity of inflation. That means a job is a guaranteed way to become poorer and poorer, because you have no control over that. So volatility doesn't exist in a job. It's a low potential profession. But the trade-off is you're never going to achieve the ideal lifestyle that you want. The monetary energy of a job can never keep up with inflation. Never, never. What does that mean? If inflation is 8% and your raise is 3%, that means you're getting poorer every single year. Is that what you want? And it's something that you have no control over. So volatility is a good thing. Now I know, well, sometimes, volatility can be frustrating. I get it. Especially we get this big check and it stretches our imagination. And I talk about once you stretch one's imagination, let me go back to its original form, quantum physics, right? So all of a sudden we get this big check, and all of a sudden we're there. Then it goes down to there. Now this is amazing compared to what was before that. But because he just did a correction of 50% down, all of a sudden you're demotivated. Because you just don't understand the correction is a good thing. Because the only reason you just drop is because before that you gained. And guess what's next after correction? Boom. That's what's next. So you gotta understand volatility is a good thing. When the check does that, it's a good thing. Volatility is the only reason why MLM makes millionaires. It's the only reason, because it can do this. Jobs don't make millionaires because it cannot do this. That's the job. If you want anything more out of life than whatever you've got now in a job, you got to get something with volatility, something you have control over. So if you cannot, if whatever you're doing, if it cannot crash rapidly, it cannot increase rapidly. In other words, volatility. So you go up 50%, it corrects 50%, that means you're still up 25%, right? It goes up 50%, it crashed 30%. It's not fun crashing 30%, but look at where you are compared to where you were. These are the type of things that you have to understand. And once you understand it, you start to manage expectation that your MLM income, regardless of the rank, it will rise, it will go to the moon, and it will tank. That'll go back to the moon. That will tank, right? So what you want to see is that when you are tanking, your low here is higher than the low here, previous low. And when it's going the rocket ship to the moon, your next peak is higher than the last peak. And once you start looking at that like CEOs do, then you start, doesn't matter how much you check tanks, you start thinking, we're on track. It's part of the plan. So volatility is one of the two areas that you got to understand. People think this is MLM. No, nothing is like that. Nothing is like that. So you got to understand volatility gives you an opportunity to be able to beat the monetary energy of inflation. A job cannot do that. The second thing you're going to know is FUD. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And you have to, and we have FUD in everything. Any major decision, we get FUD. Stock market, we get FUD. Economy, we get FUD. Inflation, everything gets FUD. Your business, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So FUD is the part 2 of managing expectation that you must understand to be able to overcome it. So let's go through them all. Let's talk about fear. You got to understand that part of the building an MLM business is fear. You got to get over your fear. Because once you get over your fear, then you pick up the phone and you make calls. Then you recruit distributors. Then you find customers. You have to overcome fear to be able to do all of that stuff. Remember, if you're not evolving as a person, becoming a best version of yourself, your income cannot evolve. If you cannot evolve, your income cannot evolve. So for you to evolve, you have to overcome what? Fear. Being able to do things you haven't done before. So, of course, evolving is a form of change. And a lot of people are afraid of change. I see that. So, but if you stay the same, you never see progress. So how do you not stay the same? You overcome fear. FUD, first part of fear. So once you overcome fear to do the little things that you're not doing before, that will lead to new results. You're on your way. Second, uncertainty. You got to overcome uncertainty when you're not making money and yet everyone tells you that you're making a mistake, you're wasting your time, you won't make it. We've all had people like that. We've all had, yeah, if you knew how many people told me in my 33 years that what I was doing was wrong and unethical, I wasn't making any money. I'm going to tell you one story tonight. Remind me to tell you the story. Oh, guys, sorry. Remind me to tell you a story later about my very first major call to Calgary. Remind me of that. So you got to overcome, the uncertainty part. You notice people call you only when you know you're on a conference call? Okay. So everyone tells you it's not going to work, all of this, right? They don't know what you know. They have not been to the tours like you have. They have not seen the trainings. They don't know the people that you know. They've not talked to people that you've talked to. They don't understand the compensation plan like you do. Regardless of what they're telling you to put uncertainty in your head, you must believe in the compensation plan that will get you to where you want to go. You must believe in your compensation plan. The only part to that is, because this call is not just for openness people, it's for everybody, is that as long as the company has some top earners, big money within the first 24 months of operations. So if you've been in a company 24 months and there's no stories, then I guess you should question that company and its complaint. But if you're with a company that's got top earners making big money, then that's a lot more credible than your neighbor telling you it's not going to work. Because all these people who don't want to make a change of themselves and they don't want you to evolve either. So uncertainty is part 2, is where you believe in your comp plan, you believe in your company, you believe that's going to take you to where you want to go more than all these noises around you who have no idea what they're talking about. So the third is doubt. So we talked about FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Third one is overcoming doubts. You have to overcome demotivation, because demotivation is caused by doubting your mission, doubting your purpose. It usually happens when the chips are down, right? I mean, we all go through that. To build a business, you're going to go through a lot of peaks and valleys. And when you go through a valley where the chips are down, sometimes you got this gut-wrenching frustration from the lack of progress, right? And then you get this doubt, is this going to happen to me? You have all these reasons why it might not happen to you. This is where most people quit. And they don't understand that if you're doing the things you're supposed to do, and although you're not getting the results fast enough, you've got to give the compensation plan time to compute your effort and productivity and convert that into checks. So you have to believe that as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that the compensation plan will catch up and compute and take that effort with your productivity and convert that into commissions for you. So once you understand and fully adopt, FUD and volatility, now you're very clear on the path. Now you're willing to pay the price for success. Now you're not going to get demotivated 16 different ways, 6,000 different ways. Now everything that's supposed to be negative, you understand why it's happening. See, without it, you don't have a strong foundation. Without this managing expectation, volatility, and FUD, you don't have a strong foundation to carry the heavy lifting required to create success in it. You'll quit. Oh, my check is not going fast enough. You quit. Oh, my check crashed. You quit. You know, oh, you know what? My friends tell me that shouldn't work. You quit. You know, you start to doubt yourself. The fear. I mean, we're as human beings, we're machines. We are fearful machines naturally. So this word FUD, if you pick that up, it's going to help you a lot in everything in your life, everything, because it affects you every single day. So next time your income crashes, don't be discouraged, and know that as long as you keep doing the same things that got you there before, your income will rebound. Remember, up, down, rebound to all-time new highs. That's a fact. So don't let volatility be a negative factor. It's a positive factor. You push it, it goes up. You lose momentum, it'll go down, but at least you have control over that. On a job, you're on the path down with no control over that. So now you know another MLM secret revealed by the forensic networker. So the price tag in MLM for success is volatility and FUD. You might not like it. You might not like the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You might not like volatility, but the price tag to MLM success is those two things. And I'm willing to pay those prices because it gives me a shot. It gives me a chance to be where I am today. I understood FUD early on. I understood volatility early on, and it doesn't matter how bad it felt when it was there. I knew that was my shot. So once you understand how higher lows and higher highs work, I never worried about my check again. Until you understand that, when your check says 1,000 a month, it goes on to 200, you're discouraged because you're looking at the high versus the low, peak versus the valley. That's not how it works. So you have 1,000 to 200, then it goes to 1,500 to 300. So 300 is higher than 200, 1,500 higher than 1,000. So don't look at your biggest check compared to what you just did now. That's not how a business works, any business, any corporation. We're looking at higher lows and higher highs. And once you understand volatility the way I understand it, you welcome it and you embrace it. So Vern and Arthur, what are your thoughts about the price of success?
Ramin, look, and the question for me for that one is it worth it? And I'm listening to you as you talk about the volatility and the going up and coming down, which I've experienced so many times during these 10 years. And you do it again and again and again. And then the question I asked myself years ago was, is it worth it because of the reason I decided to do it in the first place? Is it worth it? And the answer for real was yes. And that has kept me going. So I've experienced exactly what you're explaining there tonight. And even if I did not know them in these terms, but it was worth it because I was getting what it is that I wanted. Even if I did not fully understand the compensation plan, but the compensation plan taught itself to me when I started earning the different and various ways that I started to earn. I figured I was doing only one thing, but how is it I was making money so many different ways? And that's when I got to learn the compensation plan. It taught itself to me by my experiences of it. So for me, the fear factor in the beginning was, what if what they said to me happened, that it wouldn't work? And that's the people who mattered the most to me. That's my loved ones, my family. I don't think that they really wanted to see me fail, but because they did not understand or know what I knew about what I was getting into, that was their way of
part, right? That's the uncertainty part.
Right, Ramin, that's it. And so I used the fear energy into, I don't want them to say, I told you so. So I wanted to win. I wanted to win. I wanted to win. I wanted to be successful so they could see it was for real. And that kept me going, and that kicked the fear out very early. And there was not an uncertainty for me because I knew what I had found. And because of the stories, these two stories I heard from St. Martin, from these two young ladies, that really gave me faith from day one that this is for real. And if they did it, I can do it too. St. Martin is much smaller than St. Lucia. And that means I would have support that they already have, and they would be support. So I saw that. And my experiences over the years taught me that fear is not a thing of slowing me down. Uncertainty is not a thing of stopping me. It only fuels me because it means that there's something big at the end. If it doesn't scare you, then it's not worth it, right? If it doesn't scare you, it's not worth it. So every time I felt this, I pushed myself and I kept going. But one thing though I have to say, and I say to Arthur very often, Ramin, it's always greater and more powerful to journey not alone, especially for me with network marketing. And so the partner I found in Arthur, along with other individuals, journeying together, there was always somebody that I could bounce off of. The day that I would feel low, that partner would pull me up. And in our forensic marathon group, we do that. And so today, when I met with a few of our partners there, some persons were going through a low, and then same thing you're saying, reminding them of the ups and the downs. It will happen. Even if you didn't get to make all of your calls last week, this week is a new week, so let's push it. Let's commit to this week because last week is gone. And so it helps with the how should I say, the thing of thinking that I'm not good at this, or I may not be able to do this to the end. Journeying with somebody else who's doing the same thing then allows the journey to be a lot easier. It allows the journey to go much further, because a bird flying by itself goes a much shorter distance as opposed to a bird flying with other birds, right? So my journey here has taught me a lot. And every time you speak, you don't speak from a book, you don't speak from theory, you speak from real. And those of us who have gone through it can appreciate it even more when you speak, Ramin, because I can say, yeah, it's true, because it happened to me. Please remember to tell us the story of Calgary. Arthur, to you.
Okay, so it seems like you get the toughest critics when you're new. When you're new, it's like God's testing you. It's like, okay, let's see what you got, right? You know, throws the biggest jackwagons at you right in the beginning, just to see if you're gonna last. So I got into MLM. I'm 20 years old, tough wrestler, a bit of big ego, and trying to do this. And so somebody gave me a lead in Calgary. It's a convention coming my first year in Calgary. It's a 5-hour flight. I said, you gotta go, okay, I'm gonna go, but if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go build. So I had a customer give me this guy in Calgary. So I'm on the hotel trying to get a hold of him. I missed him, he called me back, he missed me. He didn't know what I was calling him. Finally, I called him. I told him, hey, there's a company, you know, here's what we do, there's a conference in Calgary. Why don't you come to, you know, to the tour and get a chance to see it? I'm 20, this guy's in his 50s. And here's what he said to me. He says, you called me for this garbage? Let me tell you something, Sonny. They call me Sonny. I suggest you go get a job at that time, go make $8 an hour, because you're not going to make a penny in this garbage. And he hung up. So being a wrestler, the very first thing I wanted to do, go find him and remove a limb. That's what I wanted to do, right? So, and because I didn't take this type of stuff very well. It was hard for me to take. You know, it was so unfair. I mean, I'm a young guy. Just entertain me. Don't want to come, don't come. Just entertain me. But I never forgot him. He said I wasn't going to make a dime. My very first year, I made $19,000. This is in 1990. And that was probably more than what a secretary would make at the time of the job. So obviously I had his address. He had Sears carpet cleaning company. They did carpet cleaning company. So I sent him this big letter explaining everything that happened, what he said to me and all of that. And with a copy of my T4, My T4A. My T4A is the government thinks how much money you made that year. I took a copy of it. We used to use that stuff a lot back then, and I send it to them. Next year, I made $92,000. Now I'm making big money for that time of that era. So I copied the same letter that I wrote just in case you forgot. And I'm very detailed. And at the end, you said I wasn't going to make nothing going $8 an hour. $92,000 T4A copy of it, and I sent it to him. Third year was $182,000. You know what I did, right? I took that letter again with a copy of my T4 at $192,000, and I sent it to them. My fourth year, it was $452,000. Guess what I did? Took the same letter with a copy of it, and I sent it to him, and you know what happened? He came back. He was out of business. He was out of business. I was angry. I wasn't sad. I should have been sad that he's out of business. I was angry. He didn't get to see my biggest check. So, so the guy who said to me, I wasn't going to make garbage and go get a job making $8 an hour. And he treated me like nothing. And he was he acted like he was Obama and then some kid. And, the way he treated me, he was out of business. And here I am 33 years later. Volatility understood that and understood FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You need to overcome that. If you do that, now you're ready to pay the price. If you don't overcome that, you're not going to pay the price. You'll quit. That's the story. Arthur. LD2, Arthur.
I'm listening to you, and what's coming to me very strong is it's not just in opulence. I think life in general gives us that experience all the time. It's almost like the mess becoming your message, and the test becoming your testimony. And as you go through the journey, you come across those moments when that should bury you. But when you look back and you've gone through it, you realize where you are, you wouldn't change nothing. You wouldn't change anything, because it really, if you use it correctly, and I love the fact that you are sharing these experiences with us, because if you are guided correctly, if you understand how to use those moments, those experiences, and you channel it with the right energy, it can take you all the way up. So when you come back down again, you can look back and you have hope, because I know I've had this experience before. I've been there. And if I did it then, I can do it again, and I can do it again. And the more you build on those experiences, the stronger you come back for it. So I can relate to that. I really can.
Volatility is good. Volatility means that your business is alive. You nurture it, you go high energy with it, it'll rise.
Mm-hmm.
You abuse it, you take it for granted, you do things wrong, it'll go down. But the difference with the job and your business is that when you make a mistake in your business, if it's forgiving, it allows you to do it right away. You don't lose that. You do it in a job, you have a job. Right? So volatility is good. Any last closing words? We will close this a little bit early.
Ramin, just one more thing. Right now, you mentioned earlier that the job is like that, but I think it's actually like this, because I just came from the pump on the weekend to pump fuel into my truck, and whoa, I was like, what? By the end of the month, my fuel bill would be about the same of my payment for my truck monthly. And so because the fuel price has gone up, the price of everything has gone up. And so the income that's like this now is going like this. And you said it right, when inflation goes up and the income does not go up, you're actually getting worse off. So now is a great and powerful time to bring solution of not having to bring down or change your standard of living and causing you to live less or have less, but take the option of creating additional income to add what you have to solve the problem of increasing prices, which is affecting every single family today. So I just wanted to close with that before I hand back over to you and Arthur. Thank you so much for having me. And it was a pleasure sharing this stage with you. And guess what? From the Caribbean, baby.
He's right there with us.
You know what? 33 years, and this is what MLM can do, right?
Wow.
This is what MLM can do. And I don't know another job that can, look, I'm actually doing business here. Imagine that. Tell me another job that you could do from these type of locations. And this business brings so much. You know, we are very quick to highlight the stuff we don't like, volatility, FUD, right? We don't take the time to highlight the good stuff about this opportunity, right? All the great stuff that it brings. We should develop habits. We talk about the great stuff that it brings as much as we talk about stuff we don't like, right? Because I'm telling you, the benefits of this industry, nobody offers that. Nobody offers that. Nobody offers that. With that, love you guys. Stay forensic, and we'll pass on to our fearless host here.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Romain, for being the Caribbean with us at this time and taking time out in spite of just arriving there. I was, and you are on the call. It says a lot about your love for people, persons like ourselves, and also for the company that you believe in so much and you founded. So it was really a pleasure to hear from you and to get those antidotes from you. I think it's really, really great. Volatility and FUD. I learned a lot from that tonight. And I think we all can take a very big page and put it in our notebooks now and really go forward with strength. I think additional strength, because being in this business, we need to understand that these are some of the nuggets we need to understand to keep us on the journey. And we all go through this, but sometimes we don't understand it. And I'm so blessed and pleased that you were able to share with us tonight. So thank you so much. I also want to thank Venetia, my good business partner and friend, who have hung on in with me throughout the years. And she's very right about partnership. When you're going through this journey of opulence, you definitely need to have a support system and you have somebody you can journey with, because when she's up, I may be down. When she's down, I may be up, and it's good support to lift each other up on the journey and to remind each other of the FUD and also the the volatility you spoke about. So thank you so much, Venetia, for being on with us this evening. Before we leave, guys, just really want to share screen with you because there are a few announcements I want to share with you before we actually get off the screen. So let me see if I can just put it up very, very quickly and share it with you. But guys, remember that, just 1 second. I can find the announcements.
Those business cards look good.
Hold on. One moment, guys. Let me just share this with you. But thank you so much again, Romain. And I do want you to enjoy yourself in the sun right here in the Caribbean. All right, guys, so just a few announcements and updates on upcoming events, so everybody can be on the same page in this opulence nation. So don't forget, guys, we do have this huge promotion that is still on. So you really want to take advantage of this. You really, really want to take advantage of this promotion that's going on in terms of making your home safe again. And these are some serious products that the company is practically giving away. So you want to get that free gift, and you want to make sure that you really promote and get as many persons involved in making sure that they can take advantage of this promotion. promotion that's coming back up again for us. Limited offer until the end of the month. And we have some new Visa prepaid cards out, and that's powerful too. So for those of you who really want to get this on, if you can purchase yours, if you're a member at $15, but if you are coming in as a new member, you get it absolutely free. And personalization cards are currently not available. I'm sure that will be coming around very soon, so look out for it. But for now, guys, the prepaid and the cards look really nice. So your prepaid cards are now available, and the celebration is still going on. I think they do have a gift for you right here. If you purchase with $150, guys, you definitely can get something beautiful. So you really want to take advantage of this one as well. Our 17th anniversary celebration, you're getting some nice gift if you, once you spend over $150. And coming up, we have trainings coming up. Our training coming up, our next training is on Saturday with your very own Venetia Charles Jones, and she wants to talk more about a compensation plan. You heard it tonight with our CEO talking about a compensation plan. You must understand it, and she wants to give you an overview so you could really understand that compensation plan. So get all your teams in, and get also interested persons who really want to be part of this business. Get them on as well, because they now can see what is coming up for them. And remember, every Monday night we have our forensic. Don't forget, every Monday night we do have our forensic call. Not our forensic, sorry, our product call every single Monday night. So I want to thank you guys for being on tonight, wherever you are around the world. I really want to thank you, and I hope to see you next time on our next training on Saturday, and also on our product call on Monday. And our CEO, Sir Ramin Masgalo, thank you for showing up even at the last minute. And you know, I want to thank you for being here in the Caribbean, right next door to us, so close. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Everybody.
Stay forensic. Stay forensic.